would like to call this meeting to order. This is the Ortonville Village Council meeting. It is June 22nd, 2026, 7:02 p.m. If we would all rise, I'd like for from the DBA, Dave Wilson, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That brings us up to roll call of the Village Council.
Mull?
Here.
Butzer?
Here.
Fokker?
Here.
Hayden?
Here.
Green? Here. Grubbs? Here. Quisenberry?
Here. The full council is here and accounted for. That leads us to number 4, which is the approval of the agenda. I understand Councilman Hayden has a couple of requests to make right out of the gate, and then we can go on from there.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda with the following changes: to remove items E and F of a new business. Those are the items: administrative continuity proposal and setback variance 31 Boston.
Support.
Okay, before we vote on it, I would like to make an addition to the agenda as it's presented to us right now, and that would be right after we approve this agenda. Instead of going from 4 to 5, we're going to go. I would like to go from 4 to 4B for the purpose of making a brief presentation.
I will amend my motion to add item 4B presentation.
Just a question.
Sure.
I understand why we're removing F. Why are we removing E?
That's we got feedback from Thomas that should go back and be reviewed by the Personnel Committee before it comes to council. So that's why, rather than
What if we voted down, though? I mean, that's what I was thinking. What if I'm saying we're going to, but what if it were a no vote? Then you guys have spent lots of time on something we didn't even do.
Well,
that was
personally, I don't feel it's quite ready for us to vote on anyways, because I think there's things that should be reviewed before it comes to council.
Okay.
And it's just a question.
Thanks.
I don't want to discuss it after that. That's have it clear, Johns.
I mean, is it any different than tabling it or not?
Venerable. So next bit, leave it there, and then we'll get to we could make a motion to send it personnel. I just thought it'd be easier just to say just let personnel review it as well.
And it sounds like we've got an agenda that's set for tonight anyway, so we're good on that regard. All those in favor of this agenda, say aye. Aye. Those opposed, that's done with that. That was the approval of the agenda. Item 4B is presentation, and your packets won't say anything about that because this was recently cooked up. This was a presentation by B. And before I begin, I would like to introduce to those who don't know him is Alan Algeyer. He's with us tonight. So Alan, if you don't mind standing up, I'm going to give you a little bit of Ortonville history, but you may not be aware. Ortonville back in I'm saying it's at its founding, but in its beginning, Ortonville actually has own police department, separate from the sheriff department, separate from anything. Most people don't even know that it even existed. It's very short-lived. But there was a place that in town that was called the Ortonville Police. And it just so happened that my father was the police chief. How this came about, to be honest, is the village had a part-time cop who was named Carl Anderson. And Carl Anderson is the one who started the department. He also worked at Oakland County as his animal control, less animal control. So that was his full-time job, part-time Ortonville cop. Carl and my dad were buddies, and Carl said, Tom, it was really out of time in the force out here recently. Well, geez, Tom, Carl, that sounds great, but I don't know anything about it. I'm a builder. I don't know anything about cop business. He says, well, it's okay. We're going to send you to the police academy. So the village of Ortonville sent my dad to the police academy. He got out and became Ortonville's first full-time patrolman, earning a salary. Short time later, Carl just retired, or got out of the police business, and my father was made the police chief of Ortonville. So he is first and only police chief of Ortonville because a year or so after Ortonville got started, Brandon Township thought, hey, this might not be such a bad idea. So what they did, and back then it was Bill Wright and Sally Swain and Ted Bertley, you and the other board members then said, you know, why don't we just absorb you guys and we'll make Brandon Township Police Department. Still local control, just a different force. Because my dad was already the police chief in Ortonville, he then took over the Brandon Township Police Chief's job. And as you can tell by those police uniforms, if it's white, that's what the chief would wear. So this was my dad's police chief for the very first day of the Brandon Township Police Department. They went on to hire 6 or 7 other deputies to work, not deputies, patrolmen to work for Brady's Township. But, you know, you go from this uniform with the Ortonville Police Chief to the Brandon Township Police Chief. That was short-lived as well. In, I think it was 1975, there was a fire on Sherman Court when he was working. Happened to be the first one there. Wildlife fire checking for injuries. Well, he's all he did hurt himself. He actually shattered his elbow and had 10 surgeries. So he was out of work for a year or so. During that time, there was a big push to go to contract policing. It's around today, and it's still a good idea. Sheriff's Department comes in and says, you know, we can save you money here, there, and some other places. We will even take over your police department, and we'll just all become sheriff's deputies. So that's when the sheriff took over. I believe it was Johannes Green that touched on that. Now, pardon me, just one minute.
I will ask you to write all this down. I want to capture it. So the story goes that
I got you.
Oh my God. It wasn't kissing.
more.
Well, a little bit. That's the police chief of Brandon County. It's a little more formal, as you can see. That's your basic small town police deal. Not for Brandon Township. They have to do the gut. So they had dress uniforms that were the formal attire of the chief. And it was for funerals, for parades, for mostly funerals for parades. You probably wear it twice a year. Just get lucky enough to do that. So this was one of the things. Now, the only backstory to any of this is that after my father passed away, which was 1995, he stopped using my mother's face knife / where you keep all your appliances or whatever, the laundry. And these were sitting there about 2 years after my father passed away. She goes, you know, I'm really, really tired of looking at that. Can you just get rid of them for me? I said, yeah, I would. So I took these and I saved them. I dressed them up and they stayed in my utility room, which now 30-some years. And as we were getting close to 4th of July this year and meeting you and all the really cool things that are happening at the Old Mill and the Historical Society, I thought, well, a little bit of Ortonville history might just somehow fit in there. So those are from my family. They're from the Quisenberry family. They're all 3 things that my father, as chief of police in Ortonville, chief of police in Brandon, and then this formal dress attire, I had to take them out of an attic and send them down to Detroit to get them looking good, as good as I could. So that's, we're not done yet.
Okay, there's other. Hey, bless me.
With that dress uniform, my father had his gun belts. So the way this goes is this is what longer is not tucked in. You click the dress thing on, put on your gun belt. That is the lanyard where it goes so across the belt. And this was actually gun belt that he wore with this particular uniform for the years that he was on the job. So this is all together. It's all in one piece. If there's a chemical note to any of this, it's when I brought this in here today. As you see, there's no gun and no handcuffs. I opened up the little bullet container. 12 rounds
38 special.
that were in this container and have been in it for 37 years. So these bullets are actually the ones that he would have had it still been wearing that. But these, I really, really think that they're part of Ortonville's history, and they do not belong in my act.
Who should then?
They are, and the patches, this represents a very specific
time frame?
Ortonville history that I didn't know about. And yeah, absolutely. Those are awesome. Thank you so much. We will, I already have an idea where those. So, yes, we will gladly.
I need to give you the bullets, but they may still fire. So
I would rather you take that down to the sheriff's department.
I'll
Ammunition.
back in those days, carried a Smith & Wesson 38 special. So that was the gun.
Well, thank
you.
Later went to a 38 special, but that is the brief history of how I came in contact with these. And again, they don't really belong to me. They belong to all the siblings of my father. And, you know, it's with his blessing that we think it's better off that they be in a museum instead on the side.
We are honored to take them. I'm curious. I would love to have you document some of this because capturing the story behind it, it really adds to it.
Yeah, so that's what somebody might be working on it too. So, and the reason that I have this for tonight's meeting is we don't meet again until the end of July, and I was hoping to have this before the 4th of July. If it's possible to even rush it that quick to find just big lights. Or even one can make that. Once it's in your possession, everyone at the town will bet. There are some of us in the audience who know the story about as well as I just told it, who are sitting here at the very moment.
Some have been pulled over by you.
Yes, we will honor the Quisenberry uniforms. The museum. You're right. We can make it belong to all of Ortonville.
Yeah, it's
the whole story.
Just a little something underneath it that says what it was from.
That's right.
Now, the name of Township one people know about, but I've a whole lot meant to they were around longer, and Ray and Tucky was his chief there. And you get them to be officers of Baxton because they were growing. Tetra meets supported it, so you know it went from a 3-man unit to 10 or 12 men, and all the time this department and this department were housed in the same building over there on that's now Jason Brumlow's office. So that used to be the locker room for the police department, and that's where they would go and run their shifts from. And then the sheriff's department began to keep over a contract but that board at that time, they were very happily pleased to start their own police department, which is a pretty common thing back then. Sure, some of them still survive around today. Keogh, Harvard, Unstolen Lake, Laughterville. It's sometimes hard to figure out how they're doing it. I mean, they've got to be really wealthy, but the sense is it's sometimes a duplication of services. You talk about dispatching, some of the specialty items that police departments require in this day. So we're probably getting a good deal the way we are now, but if you think back to, hey, maybe we have big change from this, and maybe there were just Ortonville cops walking around the village of Ortonville. So I don't know, but and then the brand concept end of it was kind of a stepping stone to where we are today.
So thank you so much.
Okay, appreciate it.
I'll leave them for your meeting. I'll be back here tomorrow, and I'll take them.
Okay, thanks, John.
Thanks.
Please. Alan, there's some bullets up here. If anybody's running low, or if the meeting gets too long.
You might have to bite down on one.
Yeah.
Says you're lying around.
It's very true. That takes care of the presentation portion, and that was a kind of an impromptu thing that even Alan didn't know until I called him this morning at 10 and was asking me if he would attend. So he was not even aware of what was going to happen, but seemed to go face. Next is 5, approval of council minutes. And it looks like we have 3 sets, and typically we do them one at a time, but it's May 18th, June 8th, June 8th again, and June 8th again. 3 meetings held, same time, same night, same location, same result.
I make a motion to accept, do we want to do these individually?
Yeah, we have to.
To accept the village council meetings from May 18, 2026.
Support.
Okay, moved and supported. Any questions about those minutes? Hearing none, all those in favor of accepting them say aye. Aye. Those opposed? And that motion carries. There should be one now for B.
Make a motion to approve the village council meeting of Monday, June 8th, 2026.
Support.
Any further conversation regarding June the 8th? That would be the first meeting of June 8th. The meet and greet portion.
Yep.
And hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, that's done. On to the second meeting on June the 8th.
I make a motion to approve the meeting minutes of June 8th for the public hearing.
Support.
Okay, moved and supported. We didn't have a list of names of people that spoke. But it was pretty much because no one came to it. Well, we do have a list. It's just a short one. Moved and supported. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Those minutes are now approved by the village council, and they are part of the public records. Next is item D.
Make a motion to approve the council special meeting of Monday, June 8th, 2026.
Support. Okay, that was the regular meeting that we held, and there are minutes provided in our packets that reflect what occurred at that meeting. Moved and supported. Is there further discussion on those special meetings? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? And those are accepted as well. So 4 sets of meeting minutes have been approved tonight. Brings us to number 6, which is accepted items. The Downtown Development Authority minutes of 5/18, and also the Planning Commission meeting minutes of 6/8/26. Because these are accepted items, that means that we weren't present and can't attest to what was in the minutes anyway, but we do accept them on behalf of those 2 groups, and they are accepted by the village to become part of the village record as an acceptance item. So we can move past the acceptance items. Next is the approval of disbursements. Looks like somewhere shy of $34,000. We have a list of what those disbursements were, and we can move on to those if anyone has a motion, then we can discuss it.
I make a motion for the distribution in the amount of $32,620.55.
Support.
Okay, moved and supported. We do have a list here. Maybe if there's a question we have, Pete or Scott or someone might be able to answer for us.
These are still just listed as non-descriptive, correct? I can ask you individually if I wanted to see what these numbers are.
Yes, that's why all payroll. That second page is all payroll.
I have a question what Q's quilting is.
We support them greatly, and they get half of our tax money goes to Q's. Now, the DDA has this dollars for, how does that work, Bob?
No, that's not what it is.
Okay.
It's on one of the, it says building and ground maintenance.
I can speak to that.
Those and drive bands.
Unfortunately, our DPW was weed whipping in front of us.
Oh, yeah, broke the
And
front
that
window.
rock flew off the Jeep on there and went through one of their windows.
Yeah, Scott. Aaron was weed whacking in front, and his weed whack got out of control and tossed a nice-sized rock through her front door. He was very apologetic, and he was so sorry he came up. So just, we will get it fixed. Don't worry about it. She called Brandon Glass, which is on M15. That guy came out a couple hours later, and then the next day had the glass replaced. But they do show up on those disbursements for that downtown dollars. So she cashes in so many and buys so many coupons, I guess you'll call them. So that's kind of what I thought that one was, but it is.
That'd be ends.
Okay, if there are any questions on disbursements, we can do a roll call.
Mold,
Yes.
Weston,
Yes.
Boffer,
Yes.
Hayden,
Yes.
Green,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Hazelberry.
Yes.
Okay, disbursements, the bills are paid in the just under 34,000 amount. Now is public comments. This is the time when anybody who's attended our meeting tonight would like to speak directly to the village council uninterrupted. They may do so right now. And just by a show of hands, if someone wants to come up and speak, just let me know and I'll be happy to call on you. This is one of our major members in town, Bob MacArthur.
I did not plan on speaking. Really, I did not want it. When you eliminated F, the setback variance for 141 Mill Street, the planning commission approved that to go to the ZBA, but you removed it.
ZBA meeting, though. That's why we couldn't do it in this meeting. We have to just call a ZBA meeting.
So you're not dealing with that tonight.
No. That's, in fact, I had brought that up, that it can't be approved directly at a council meeting. It has to go to a ZBA meeting, so we can't.
Right, no, I understand that, but I just took it that the ZBA meeting would be held at the same time as
And I
this.
suppose it could have, and quite often it is, but
Yeah, just that the gentleman's been waiting to move forward with it.
Well, under the statute, as you know, there's also certain rules around ZBA meetings. There's a certain amount of notification that has to go to all residents within a certain distance around there, and
Yep, I understand.
I don't know if any of that stuff.
I understand that clearly. I understand that clearly. I just wanted to make sure that something else did not occur there.
No, it was just we realized that this was not appropriate for this meeting, and we would need to schedule a ZBA meeting to address it.
it seems like a go, but a slow go.
Yep, that's okay. I just really wanted to find out when to hurt you eliminate it.
And, in the future, I do think sometimes these issues that the zoning commission deals with sometimes do get backtracked and pushed back, and there's always a homeowner on the other end
No,
who's anxious to get them
I
resolved.
understand completely.
And I do think we could do a better job of that, or at least a faster job.
Okay, thank you. And I just want to let you know, my first house fire was the one where your dad got hurt.
Oh, no kidding.
Oh, man. Here's how this thing.
I kind of knew you had some connection to it. That was at Sherman Court, right? Yep, right towards the end on the left, I believe. Yeah, you probably won't forget that one.
It was a long stairwell that he traveled.
Yes.
That's, it did take near as long to get down the stairs than it did to get up. That's just the way gravity works.
Next, listen in.
Okay, thank you for that. Anybody else want to speak to the council? Okay, that takes care of public comments. On to items from trustees. I'm going to start at this end, but especially because you get to kick it off.
Sure. So 2 weeks ago, Linda stops me after our meeting and goes, I really want to do something here. And I had a dream and I had a vision about a possible home run derby. And she goes, how do we make it happen? And I thought about it for a second and I said, I think we can do it. So for the last 2 weeks, I've been talking with Ashley here. I've been talking with a friend of mine, Justin, who's a resident here in the village. And we put together a proposal for a home run derby that could happen this year, where we can have it completely funded by sponsorships and ticket sales. So in the packet, I have a very small, rough AI logo that we kind of can just run off of and do all that. But I would love the help from everybody here. Whoever else in the community would love the help. I feel like it could be a pretty cool thing that we could do here in the village at the baseball field. Its aging ranges from 4 years old all the way up to 99, honestly. I think we could do all kinds of divisions, and I think we could get people up from Fenton, Holly, Rochester, Lake Loring, all kinds of people would come out. I think that they say, I think if we plan it right, we could probably do it around the September timeframe, I'm thinking, to be honest, but I'm open to all kinds of ideas on if we change. I just talked with Justin here. I think we got to plan around tournament baseball and people's vacations and things like that. But yeah, I think there's a really good opportunities for food trucks, live music, a nighttime under the lights kind of festivity. It would be an all-day event where the kids in first round stuff would happen during the day, and then second round final stuff would happen under the lights with music and announcers. So that's kind of the run-of-the-mill thing I have. Justin also went above and beyond here and created some sort of online ticket sales that we could do so that we could generate all the information, all the data that we would need to collect from the sale point all the way out would all be digitally handled online through the website. And this would be for profit for the parks, meaning everything that we go would go back to the park. The reason why I'm saying this is because also I've noticed over the last few years that we've dealt with the township and it's dealing with Parks and Rec, and we've had this agreement where they would maintain the inside parts of the ball field, and we took care of the outside ball fields. Well, you know, I watch the T-ball kids play on the weekends, and I watch how they maintain their field, and I look at the quality and the maintenance of the interior, the infield of our fields, and they are not nearly up to code, or kept as well as they would keep their own. So I personally feel that they have not really kept their word on even this handshake agreement. So I want us to do our own thing and create our own funds and fix it up ourselves. I feel like this is a good opportunity to do that, and I would love your guys' help.
Wow, it's a very ambitious idea and a very good one. I'm sure you'll have tons of support. One thing that just hit me a second ago is, or maybe it's too much, too cumbersome, but would there be a way to have just either at the beginning or the end of this a segment of handicapped or disabled people to participate?
Absolutely.
And they'd be in their own subcategory, obviously not competing against, some 16-year-old slugger.
Absolutely.
But somebody who is, missing a limb or somehow handicapped in a way that they would like to give it a try and maybe move the fence in a little bit and,
Absolutely. I love
and just
all that.
see if we can be inclusive to some disabled kids.
100%. And I think that's totally fair because at some point, everybody will probably be able to knock it over the fence here. So we have been kind of discussing ways to either have a weighted ball or the wiffle ball or some kind of things with the ball or bats. So we're still kind of figuring out the logistics of making it happen for everybody, but I do love that idea.
Okay, thank you. This just hit me this second.
I just had a thought. Is the DDA involved with this, with us?
They're the first time they're hearing it right now.
Okay.
So that was a crazy idea I had.
It was crazy. I just think they need to be involved.
A lot of people like it if it's a crazy idea.
No, it was just something I thought of, and I told the right person.
Actually, DDA just popped in my mind because I had a thought, and we were talking about fundraising, all that stuff is, I know that the village per se, I don't think we have specifically a nonprofit arm, but the DDA does. And I was wondering if they could somehow connect with you guys so that they could work together, if it would be possible to use Friends of Amos to be a nonprofit organization to help with it so that we could also offer pets.
I don't mind that. That is something that we've talked about, being a nonprofit, figuring out a way to make that happen.
I might ask.
It's totally a good thing.
I might just real quick ask our audience member, our executive director there, if he thinks that would even be a possibility to link that with time.
It would be a DDA board decision, or to the DDA board members in the applicants as well. I would say the DDA board would entertain various ways that they could support.
Aren't there 4 of us here, man? Just kidding. I was counting myself.
Three.
He's kind of figure us.
I'm not honest.
So
Oh, okay.
Because I know that being able to have a tax deduction because you're donating to through a nonprofit organization can be an incentive for people who are donating.
Totally. That's absolutely something that we've discussed. And I would love to go that route, possibly eventually. I want to get the ball rolling if we could this year. And if that means we don't necessarily do the nonprofit, that's cool. If it works out that way, totally. I'm on board with any of that happening, for sure.
I have talked to some of the local businesses too, and they're already kind of aware and just ready for a flyer to figure out sponsorship level.
And the parking, if we, again, I'm assuming it's going to be on a date that's nothing else is happening.
Correct.
Okay. And
Yeah, that's the logistics side of things, and we've had some talks. I would want to reach out to the senior center and get that approved, rent out that space for A, for the bathrooms, B, for weather situations, if it's A, too hot, so the place for cooling, if it's raining or whatever, tornado, it's a spot for people to go. And it also shows love to township, and I want to honestly get everybody involved, get township businesses. I would love for the sponsor, the title sponsor, to be a village, either business or whatever. That would be a dream of mine. So that's kind of where I'm at with that.
Stefan.
Love to see the ball keep rolling.
Yep, good.
Okay, on to
Yes. Full trap. Okay.
She's been helping me a lot.
I have.
that's, we all recognize that.
Wait a minute, how does this work then? So if everybody likes this idea, do we vote on this or do we?
Well, they're going to bring more.
We would need to get a proposal and put an event together. We'd have to kind of get to the next step. I just want to get people
Just on.
Okay, gotcha.
Personnel, luckily, we're kind of plateauing finally. With
Not
the
a
respect,
bad thing.
Yeah, with respect of figuring out the administrative continuity proposal. IT-wise, thanks to Pete and Thomas for kicking that off because working full-time and trying to do office stuff is hard. So we are trying to get bids for servers and figuring out, we found 3 things: the servers, workstations, and cameras for the cybersecurity grant. So hopefully we can get that done and figured out with no matching. So we just get the money. Yay. And then planning commission, I'm learning all about that still. So that's been a learning curve.
Learning experience, sure.
That's all I got.
Sounds simple, but it sure is.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
Darcy?
I'm not on any committee, so I don't have anything to contribute that way.
Well, we should fix that.
I'm keeping, let me tell you.
That's one of those things people don't want to say very well.
I know. No, there are things I'm interested in for sure. But, and I have a million questions, but I don't know if it's like the right time or place to ask, so.
Okay.
Move it along.
There we go. Mr. Haight?
Yeah, well, have not had a streets committee meeting for that, with all the things being kind of like unsettled in the funding issues. But now that we have our permanent village manager selected, I have requested that we start collecting. I know Bob had a short list of things that he said, hey, these are improvements that are needed, included some sidewalks and stuff. So I have had some discussion about having Bob work to get up an inventory list of all the sidewalk improvements we might need and get them on a list with some kind of needed within a year, needed in 1 to 3 years, and okay for at least 5 years, something like that, so that we can start collecting all that and use that as a basis for putting together proposals to get grant money. Because it doesn't work well if we get something that's like, this needs to be fixed now, there's no time to grab money. So I want to really start capturing that, just like we have the road evaluation, the PACER studies for the road. I want to do that for our other infrastructure needs for sidewalks, and facility can do a better job of finding grant money for those types of projects. So that's one thing that we've started talking about. The SEMCOG General Assembly meeting is coming up this Thursday, and I have phoned Pete about that, and he agreed to that we should both attend, because typically it's the village manager and one council member. The council member is the primary and the village manager is the secondary representative. So we're going to be going to that on Thursday together. And I also at that time will introduce them to some of the resources and some of the people that I've met over the years at SEMCOG. In particular, I want to make sure he gets introduced to the people who manage the grant, the TAP grants there, so we can get that back on track and start looking into a TAP grant for some of the things like crosswalks and sidewalk improvements. So that's coming up Thursday. And I'm sure on the ride out there and back, we'll probably be talking about other things related to streets and things like that, and try to set up one that would be a good time to schedule an actual streets committee meeting. And I think Ashley already told us about personnel. Now we can get back to more routine things on personnel. So, yeah, just.
Okay, there we go. Linda Brooks.
All right, I attended the Historical Society meeting, and they're doing some interesting fun. They're doing a signage on about the Mill Pond, which is right where that little bridge is that crosses over to Harley Swanson. They also have, I don't even know how they acquired, I don't know how to say this, this grad student named Alexis who is going to create photo documentation of all these things inside of the mill, which was super exciting to hear that she is definitely a history geek. She was so excited to do that, and you don't see that too often from a 20-year-old, so that was very exciting. They had a couple events, the Road to America Independence that they kicked off on May 16. Fired off some cannons, that was fun, and then they had second graders come visit the old school. They had some of the ladies dressed up as if they were old school barns, and that was a fun visit for them. They hope to grow that with our schools. They also are going to have a presence at the Oakland County America 250 event. That will be July 25th and 26th. And then they also had a short moment where they discussed the austerity plan where to reduce their heating expenses. So I was a little embarrassed by that, but I said, it had to be done. And it was kind of fun to see that they immediately discussed it and found ways that they could bring that bill down due to our financial budget line item being much lower this year. The DDA had their farmers market. I went to the kickoff. It was wonderful to see that happening again. Lots of people in town, lots of fun events, great coffee truck, and that's going on all summer. So make sure you go to that. It's always good to see people in town.
Yeah.
I also attended the Brandon Township event, Food, Clicks, and Fun, and that seemed to be well attended. It does remind me that we need to get another spinning item in the park because there's like 10 kids on the little horses, and I don't know how long they're going to last. But
The kids or the horses?
yeah, the horses. Yeah, I tell you that they were just having a big fun. And also, I have a flyer here for the intergenerational barbecue that's happening at the senior center this Wednesday. That's just in a couple days.
Intergenerational.
Yeah, it's just for everybody. For the
X Gen, Y Gen, 2000 Gen,
everybody.
Gen L,
Gen
okay.
Alpha,
That's all inclusive. Good.
and even boomers like you.
Boomers.
Not. Are you trolling me, boomer?
They're all on the tail end of a baby boomer.
I don't know where the boomers fall. You looked at me funny. So that's a fun thing. I did that last year. Another great event. And I've not been able to attend the Septemberfest meetings. I don't know if anyone else is able to go to them, but we should try to get somebody to go to those. They are Wednesdays. The next one's July 22nd at 12:30 at the library. And believe it or not, they're starting Christmas in the Village discussion. And those meetings will be at the Senior Center on Mondays at 12:30 starting July 27th. So those are some things we can take part in. And then for parks, Bob's been repurposing the wood structure. He's still working on the second one. We have some ideas there. Stephanie Olowski was able to get some grant money from Oxford Bank. It's $2,500, which does not buy a piece of equipment. So we're talking to her about how we would like to spend that to give them a little pot for their money. And that's too much percent, but that's what's going on.
Okay.
I have not had a meeting with the DPW, but that would be one.
Great. That'll be a lot of fun. Yeah. Always good to see. Let's see. That does it for items from trustees. Now on to unfinished business. There is no unfinished business. We must be very efficient. On to item 11, which is new business. looks like a good portion of this, at least the beginning portion, is going to be, we're going to rely heavily on Matt Jenkins, the director of the DDA, to kind of walk us through what some of these items are. And I believe some of them are going to require some action.
Thank you. Matt Jenkins, the Ortonville DDA Executive Director. You have before you the 2026-2027 DDA budget, which was approved by the DDA board last Monday at our regular scheduled meeting. I'll entertain any questions on it. I will point out that we did receive an influx of grant funds within the last quarter, and so it's kind of it's perfect timing. It's elevated our fund balance, which you can see at the top of the page, but you can also see that it is recorded in the last revenue item transfer from fund balance. And that's all for specific grant projects. You have been made aware of all of those projects.
And I was at the DDA meeting and received this budget as well, so did the other DDA members, and it passed the DDA unanimously. Matt, is this the time you would like us to make a motion to accept this budget as well?
Please.
If somebody can repeat that.
I'll make a motion to accept the DDA budget for 2026-27 as presented. Support.
Okay, moved and supported, and Matt did a great job explaining, but at his budget is, I'll give him obviously some leeway because his budget is tied to ours, and because of some snafus that we had, it kind of threw a little bit of a wrench into them and their process. So we probably would have seen this sooner had some of those wrinkles on our end been fixed. So no demerits for the timing on any of this. And it was a good job putting together something with very little building blocks to work with.
It's not terribly complicated, the budget that is.
Yeah. So you get it. Okay, if there's no other questions, I'll have a roll call vote.
I have a question.
Oh, please.
So when it comes to the Main Street Committee expense, all that there, these are already approved grants and everything. This is all money that has come in. It's money going out or expects to be spent. I mean, are they already approved projects?
They are already approved projects. There is an expense in here that the project may not happen. The Old Mill fire suppression, you did approve a resolution at your last meeting for us to apply for the grant. We just wanted to make sure we plugged it in because we indicated in that proposal to you that the DDA would be funding the match on the grant, and so we wanted to make sure it was in there. So technically, you will get a more formal proposal for the fire suppression system if we get the grant and then get working on the project.
Okay, being that I'm so new here, the downtown audio Wi-Fi, is that what's in the packet also in regards to?
Yes.
That's already been approved, so funds have already come in? Has that already been brought up like funds to go?
Funds have come in. The approval we're seeking tonight is to use the light poles.
So the public Wi-Fi is already approved for the village? Was it approved like, isn't that what's in our patch? Is this the line?
It's to use the light poles
Okay,
to
but
put the hardware.
is public Wi-Fi already approved for the village? According to this right here, the 30,000?
That is a DDA project, so the DDA board has approved that project.
Okay, just out of my ignorance from not having been here, so you approved it, so it is happening in the village already, or?
Potentially, if we can't use the downtown light poles, we'll have to go back to the drawing board.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, back to roll call.
Perez?
Yes?
Green,
Yes.
Hayden,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Hudson,
Yes.
Lowell,
Yes.
Quisenberry.
Yes. Gets us past the DDA budget to the Oakland County placemaking grant modification proposals.
My apologies for this item. I heard late today that from Oakland County that they will not be considering a modification to the project or to the grant agreement, and therefore they will be requesting the funds be reimbursed from the village.
What's that? The whole 82, it's probably the funds?
The 82,215 that you've received. I would like to add that there is an issue that the DDA had taken on, which should have been paid out from these grant funds, a $5,600 invoice from the engineers on the project. So the DDA took that on with the understanding that the village would reimburse the DDA from the grant funds.
Yes. That was to Giffel, is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So after the 82,215, that's our commitment as of right now.
Well, and this other $5,600 to the engineers.
So at this time, item B, it's the grant modification, which is not viable anymore. That item B is not viable anymore, so we get another proposal. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's, there will,
Nothing we can do.
yep.
Okay. The connection downtown Wi-Fi network.
So this proposal in front of you is, like I had indicated, is for the public Wi-Fi initiative. Before we make comments on what's in the proposal, I just want to let the council know that the grant award that's referenced in this has not been publicly announced. We have been awarded, but it has not been publicly announced. So as the grantor refers to it as an embargo on speaking about it publicly, I just wanted to make that comment as we begin the dialogue. But you will see from here there is a $24,500.
Yeah, this was recorded and sent out.
I didn't mention the grantor.
He's not.
All right, just want to make sure.
No
we can
names
proceed.
to protect the innocent.
Okay.
We received a $24,500 grant. The project, which we did provide that at a previous meeting, is $30,250. And so the DDA had budgeted in our budget to cover that, the rest of that cost for this project. We are utilizing a local company, MDTS, who we've been working with for well over a year at this point, and we came start and stop quite a few times based on the funding. And so finally, we were able to crack that issue, and we will be able to put in phase one of a Wi-Fi and audio, downtown audio project. Phase one will only cover the Wi-Fi on Mill Street from this building down to the museum. Additional phases include going down South Street towards the fire department and covering township offices, Crossman Park. The initial scope of the project also considered adding some relays that would take it up to the Sherman ball fields. That's not currently one of our phases, but certainly we would be able to consider that. I think, I don't want to speak for the team that's working on the project, but we really do want to get audio speakers so that during events and activities, we can do music, announcements, things like that. So that may be part of phase two on Mill Street here. in the future.
Could we make a stipulation that no karaoke's?
So you want to put them on the light poles that we are paying for currently, correct?
That hardware.
And that means you're running the electricity off of those to run the speakers, to run the Wi-Fi. Who's paying the bill on the Wi-Fi and the speaker?
We do. Yep. It'll be a separate system. It'll be housed in the village office, but it will be separate from our current network infrastructure.
Okay, so those, forget if I'm wrong, guys, those are the lights that we've had the issue with the township that we had to switch over. So that's where the meter's over at the main, at the township building, correct? I think that's correct, township, right?
I think so too.
Yeah. Okay, so then you're gonna have a wireless relay to your office?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, man, just for clarification, because you started bringing up other stuff too that you said might be at phase 2 and stuff like that. But what you're asking for tonight is the authorization for the phase 1 aspects, which is just lights.
Correct.
We're not talking about speakers or anything else.
Nope. Not at this point.
In that case, I would make a motion to authorize the DDA to utilize village-owned decorative light poles located within the downtown Ortonville Mill Street corridor for the installation, operation, and maintenance of public Wi-Fi equipment associated with the Ortonville DDA Connected Corridor Phase 1 Public Wi-Fi Initiative check, subject to coordination with village and DPW staff regarding installation standards, maintenance responsibilities, and any required permits or agreements.
Support.
Okay, moved and supported to take another step in the direction of Wi-Fi downtowns. The motion was lengthy, but I'm sure we all understood it perfectly. If there aren't any other questions,
I have one question too. Is there
we'll go around.
any downfall for us putting it on our poles that we would be aware of right now? I mean, not could do something later, but
Well, there will be potentially some interference with the current light pole banners. So it's just kind of logistical stuff, making sure that everything will fit appropriately. But just so we get to the diagram, there are three light poles that are being used. And there's relays, and essentially 9 components will be functioning off of those. Well, 7 relays will be functioning off of those 3 poles. The other 2 locations are the village office and the museum.
okay. Oh, so it's only 3 poles.
Yeah.
Okay, so 3 and some, was that up the can?
The Wi-Fi coverage I'm seeing, right, this is the coverage that we would be getting? The green and the yellow and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, so essentially people, residents could be getting free Wi-Fi in their homes.
Yes.
Okay.
A public access Wi-Fi.
Yep, and then I see 2.4G and 5G, and I know there's been talks of us going to 6G eventually in this country. Or what is the scenario when they're ready to go? Are we just going to sit and wait at 4G and 5G, or would we then upgrade to the next?
From our conversations with MDTS, they will be prepared to upgrade the system as needed.
Yeah,
Oh.
really out.
And I have a question. So when you say is the DDA funds the Wi-Fi? Or is it a grant that the DDA has that's funding the?
To put the system in is a grant. There's a $6,000 funding gap between the grant and the implementation cost that the DDA is covering. After that, then there's ongoing costs for annual subscriptions for the Wi-Fi.
And that's paid for by the DDA, not the grant money.
Correct.
Right? So if a grant runs out, you guys still are on deck for paying for everything.
Correct.
Okay. Why do you think that we need public Wi-Fi though? I mean, every little business down here walks in and starts up their own, we all do. We all just go get our own Wi-Fi. What is it about our tiny little village that you think that we need public Wi-Fi for?
It's a placemaking component. the two transformational strategies that the DDA board approved in April of '24. One was a placemaking strategy, and so it's one of the components that is an added amenity for people who visit downtown.
It's a reason for people to come to the village. So another reason to come. So you could come and you could sit on a bench and look outside and do your email or just.
Well, who can't do that already with the data on their phone? I mean, that's, we don't.
People that are less fortunate
Yeah.
don't necessarily have all
Yes, sir. So that's what we're providing for that.
For our events, when you have an event downtown and you're trying to, the food trucks and whatnot, people are trying to pay by credit card. It's very hard lots of times for connectivity. And so this will.
But with that, how is security with this though?
That's my expression.
Because all it takes is one hacker, and then who's on the bill for who gets the credit cards from all the point of sales when it gets hacked?
Yeah, and you asked me that question.
Because if it's a public Wi-Fi,
Essentially.
yeah, they can just come into it, and they're gonna.
You asked
steal
me that
everyone's
question
credit
on Friday, so I did put it to MDTS to help us answer that question. But it's essentially is a closed loop system for each individual that uses it. And so you're right, there could be some attempts at that. And everyone who uses the system, and I'm just scanning some of our notes here quickly, a captive portal will contain a user login with terms of use acceptance page, and we can block any problematic devices as needed.
And there are also some benefit for emergency services or things like that that we might.
Other ways the DDA will be using it, for example, is our downtown, our historical audio walking tour.
That's fantastic.
People will be able to access that with the Wi-Fi. Again, using your phone's data plan, you certainly can have similar access, but this is a way for you to do that. Another thing, and I mentioned this to Ashley when we spoke briefly about it, this is for public Wi-Fi use. So, for example, if an existing business is not going to use this Wi-Fi platform for their business, but they can offer it to their clients or their customers as a public Wi-Fi option.
Seems to me that anytime I go into a doctor's office or into a grocery store or into a hotel room or a hotel lobby, it'll ask you if you want to join the public network, and if you put yes, you're going to get a far better signal than if you're working off of your 3G or 5G on your phone. Right. That's if you get a signal at all inside some of these buildings. So doesn't that eliminate that problem?
It supports it.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. You hit, if you're not getting the good signal, but you're down in town, you hit the use the public one, you might be far more successful in getting a signal and access to the internet.
That's the hope.
I do have a positive for you guys if it's still a thing. We do have crazy Pokemon Go here.
Yep.
And so have you ever thought of connecting all the points for that? Because you could probably bring in, I don't know if it's still, oh my God, but I know it was a few years ago.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, because then you could probably follow way more people if we.
Actually, we're currently working with Red Lantern Kennels in the township. They are working on a geocaching tour of downtown Ortonville.
Or there's a great travel bug hotel.
And so that's part of our pet-friendly downtown initiative. So yes, that's a very similar caching tour.
And something to see the Wi-Fi really need audio. It's from crystals. Yeah, audio here too. I so need fast, like,
To do the audio, we need,
That one question.
to do the audio, we need this infrastructure.
and
And then how secure is the audio going to be? Like, is the kid going to be able to hack it from his house and blare music from
Date.
everywhere?
Well, if it was moved and supported, we
I
got
know, but like, is it a system to
We
where
gotta
it can get hacked?
to close up the conversation.
I know.
Okay,
but,
man.
like, I know. It's just one of those. I just can see it being, ooh, there's speakers now. The 14-year-old's going to be hacking his little way into the thing and blaring music. Got one case of
It's got a
remote.
absolutely.
Well, and we did,
Is it necessary?
audio is a different
Right.
topic, but when we did have those discussions, we talked about security measures that would turn them off for periods of time. When we wouldn't be using them and there's no way someone could mistakenly use them.
Okay, moved and supported and discussed. Sounds like there's a few questions that still remain, but they can be answered at sometime, I'm sure. And this probably isn't the last time this issue is going to come up because of improvements to the project as they progressed. So on that item, on the agenda, I would like to ask for a roll call vote. It's item C, connection downtown Wi-Fi network, and in short, it requires the use of 3 village poles.
Mold,
You're my first. Good stuff.
Party Cooper, no.
sorry, what was that?
No.
Butsu,
No.
Bachmer,
No,
Fetus,
Yes.
Green,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yeah.
Quisenberry.
Yes. 4-3, the motion carries, and the EDA is allowed to use 3 of our poles. Next up is the Smart Community Credit Contract. I guess we do this most every year.
Spatial visit.
I make a motion that we transfer municipal credit, community credit, smart funding to Brandon Township.
Support. Okay, moved and supported. Any discussion on the transfer of the community credit project?
Same thing to Brandon.
Yep.
Could I just add fiscal year 2027 to that
Yeah.
motion?
Okay, let's do roll call on that one as well.
Did you follow me? Yes. Yes.
Bacher,
yes.
Mold,
Yes.
Green,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yep.
Fetus,
Yes.
Quisenberry.
Yes. Okay, that takes care of that item. Next is administrative community proposal.
That works.
Oh, yeah, those 2 are both gone off of our agenda. So that actually concludes new business. It takes us to item 12, which is the village manager reports. And please give us a brief synopsis of what has been through in office. Everybody, I would just like to remind that Pete was on a very, very pre-arranged vacation last week, so he is back now and getting up to speed. So I will certainly give him some leeway when it comes to this particular village manager report.
All right, well, we have some information, just treasurer put together the road paving project and how much money we have spent on the roads so far. That's in the packet. What I would like to do, I would like to give with Larry sometime, probably we're going to talk about it on Thursday. I just want to go through and have a map. I want to see every project that we completed, everything that's completed as in a map portion, and then just see what our next phase is going to be. Just have it mapped out so that we can show the public that what we've already done. So if anybody's got any questions about how much we have spent, $716,000, $716,313.28 on the roads. That's what we've done so far.
So a couple of you had asked last meeting. I just got to throw a guesstimate out there. I don't want to do like that, so that's why I can have a hard concept of where it's at. And so you know, to help you as well, because I've seen questions now from two different people, like me, well, to me as a part of a group, one person who I wouldn't expect to have these kind of questions. The fact of the matter is, the people that are looking, well, why aren't I getting any more from our road millage this year? We collected $150,000 on guesstimate, $150,000 last year. We were like to do the same this year. That only covers half what we've already spent. So it's just a reality. I don't want to sugarcoat it. It's all because these
How does this line up to the proposals we're given?
Exactly.
that events road committee. I'd ask Larry because I don't know.
Well, I'd have to go back and look, but I'm pretty sure that he was planning up front that you'd be able to get all the paid and done, and I think for something under $1 million, yeah, or something like that. And we're only 2 phases in. We'd be able to spend 2/3.
We had over to because of the milling though, not to direct that on the church. So that could look more expensive than you initially. That's good.
Yes, and I think that it would cost it. I think he underestimated to begin with, and I found they ran into problems that were unanticipated and not planned for, and there was no contingency built into the plan, and so that's why we didn't get as much done with the funds that it done so far as what was in the original proposal. That's my.
I can understand there being a hitch down the road than that costing some more money. But to be so far off, and when you say he underestimated, I mean, how does one underestimate when they're under a council that has to evaluate the head proposal and everything that's going on? I mean, how?
Well, it also comes down to how the budget was presented. There was well over $100,000 of supposed income in the budget that was supposed to cover this that never materialized. I have no idea where that money was found. I don't know what that was for, and I think just to Scott's credit, he is not making any assumptions about any revenues that we're not sure we had.
Oh no, I get that. I just don't understand how. Like I said, I was at that meeting and I'm sitting there and I'm listening, and what was said to us is that 2 to 3 years. We're going to try 2, but it might go up to 3. I understand that. And that's how long our millages will be, and this is what we're going to get, and this is the cost, and this is what's going to happen, and this, that, and the other thing. And from his lips in front of the council to our ears to be so far off and to think that we have to pay millages 2 more years possibly it's unacceptable. It's just so unsettling. We would have to vote on it again, but yeah, he just kind of did what he felt like doing and not letting us in on it at all.
Yeah, I think everybody on council who was on council for me at the time feels just as I would say betrayed and misled as the residents feel, because we believed what he had said, and we found out that what he said was.
But you guys he was your employee, and you guys have access to all that information and all the, I don't know, maybe I'm stupid on this, but I just think that you guys could have looked over what he was submitting and maybe questioned a ton of stuff.
Even seen on streets, like why was it not laid out in like such a manner?
It was also really tough because that came in right where it was like, okay, here's the budget. We need to approve this. We need to approve this road knowledge because the work's going to be starting, and we did it. And at that time too, they had left treasurer go at that point, so we weren't getting good accurate financial report because we were being told that, well, ESA is on that stuff.
Then maybe you guys should have put the brakes on it.
As I say,
maybe you should have let's wait a minute. Let's think better about this. But now we're stuck with paying all this extra, and we still haven't. Everyone complains, "Oh, when are you do my road?" I mean, I get it. I hear what they're saying, but it's BS to me. It really is. I mean, from that meeting forward, it's just been. It's hard to have confidence in any of the answers here. It really is.
And the only thing I can say is I just have to apologize to all the residents and let do to everybody else because, you're right. We dropped the ball on that. We put too much trust on the manager. We dropped the ball. If we'd done more due diligence, I think that you would maybe done a better situation. And that's our fault on us, and I'll take responsibility for that.
Well, and one of the things too, Larry, we couldn't get any information out of BSNA, which is our financial system. And that would have told us everything if we would have had that, but that was a missing piece. And we kept telling him, have somebody come out and fix it so that whatever it needs, get it. And it just didn't happen.
Out of curiosity, how is BSNA doing right now?
Actually, it's fine. That was a line that he was giving.
Okay, I'll spread it.
In my opinion, I can't say that for sure because I don't know what happened. Maybe something magically got fixed the day after you left. I don't know. But we're able to get all the information for you. That hasn't been a problem at all.
And we were getting our Act 51 money. It was just going into the general fund because he didn't know what to do with it.
And that is, to answer, somebody had a quick question about how else are we paying for the extra money. I mean, what's also Act 51 money is paying for some, but that's it's not like the village had $700,000 laying around with expect. It was partly funded by Act 51 monies that are meant to be for roads.
Right.
So that's okay. But some of those monies are also budgeted, as they happen every year, also pay DPW salaries because they're working on the roads. And so it's not all Act 51 money isn't billed just for this project. It's also covering existing projects and some salary financing as well.
Back to you, Pete.
Sorry?
Back to you.
Yeah. Like I said, I would really like to be able to have a really good answer for the public on this. And I know that Larry and I will be getting together on Thursday, and I plan on having this discussion with him on Thursday. My plan is I would like to just get a map out and just get all the roads that we have done, get them all marked up, find out exactly what we have to have, the rest of the roads that we have to do, and just start at least start brainstorming about how we're going to proceed here in this forward.
One last question.
Yes.
And then I'll stop on this. I've got highlighted here on my paperwork, laser lines.
Yep.
Holy smokes. I mean, they are in our community here, and we got the worst representation of them on our roads. Now, is this something we can go back to them and say, do you not drive these streets? Do you not see your workmanship here? Or what can we do here?
I've had the same question too about that, Ms. Butsu, and I can't believe these lines are already fading. My question was, what kind of paint did they use?
But has anybody asked them, though? Are they going to come back and recover this, or what are they going to do?
No, I have not asked them that yet, but I definitely will.
Okay.
That's something that I can do this week.
It's a good amount of money that went to them.
I'm sorry?
There's a good amount of money that went to them.
Yeah.
The really poor work. It's obvious to everybody, and their name is on it. So you would think they'd want to fix it. Okay, I'm done. No.
Pete, okay. Anything else on the roads or?
No.
Okay. On a lighter note, our deputy treasurer has started last week. She is doing an amazing job. I had my first day to work with her was today. She's fitting right in our office. She has gotten a hold of BSNA. Scott and Thomas have worked with her on BSNA, and she's got a handle on that already. We're going to be doing payroll tomorrow. We have Sue coming in again tomorrow, and we are going to do more training with BSNA with Leslie. She's doing a wonderful job. Very happy to have her on board. She's very happy to be here. I think she's going to be a great fit for us. So, fingers crossed, we're moving forward with her. Sherman Park agreement that I've been talking with the township about. This agreement came, gosh, I think it was actually first given to us maybe last year or a year ago. Supposedly, our attorney had already been involved with this. I had talked with the parks, and we had thought it had gone to our attorney, Mr. Gildner. I reached out to Mr. Gildner, and he has never seen this before. So he is going over it right now. He's got quite a few questions about it. He's going to have everything returned to me by July 16th. and I'm going to have that turned over to the township, everything that he's going to add or take out of that contract that they had given us, so that the township can go over it and review it, and so that we can all come to an amicable agreement on whatever we're going to do from that point forward. So that will be something that will be more than likely on our July 27th meeting, I believe that's our July meeting. So we'll be discussing that again in July. But Mr. Gilder's going to review that for us. He already did. He's going to be writing everything up for me, and he's going to submit that all to me by the 16th of next month. So we'll have that hopefully squared away by next month. The building department agreement, you guys all should have gotten that. There were just 3 minor changes that he was asking me to go to the township with on the building department. If you guys, did you all look at it? Did you all see it? So he wants us to change just in item number, paragraph number 4, it's going to be on the building permit agreement. So number 4, duration, if you see that, he just wants us to change that to, the agreement says that the agreement can be terminated by mutual agreement. And he recommends that they give, that both parties have the ability to terminate at any time. Because the way it's kind of written, he thinks one of us, like if we wanted to terminate it, that it could be vetoed by the township or vice versa. We could be veto the township from ending it, and he says that's not good practice. So he would like us to change that. He said that this with the rates, paragraph 5 on the same page, rather than just saying at the township scheduled rates, he'd like to say the township scheduled rates. I suggest revising that language to all permit inspections, review, and related fees collected for the work within the village shall be collected and retained by the township at the same rates charged at the township residents. That's all he wanted to change. Nothing really big there. Then finally, at the beginning of the agreement, he just would like to see it according to the terms and conditions of the agreement dated and dated attached here too. So it just a couple of little simple things. I will present that to the township after I get the okay to do that from you guys.
Thanks.
So that's on that. And then the DDA disbursements memorandums. I'm sure you guys saw the letters. I was requested by the DDA just to give them letters of intent for us to pay back the county for the $82,215.
We just learned from the manager that that's kind of out the window, and we should be looking for another version at some point. So that one's a issue.
No, we have to give them some.
Still have to pay
Get
it.
that.
Oh, yeah, but the terms.
That's all it's saying. Yeah, we're just going to.
Yeah. So this one is, but we still have to pay back that money. So this one is a moot issue as far as with the DDA. We're not going to be giving the money to them. We'll be giving it right back to the county.
Except $5,600.
And then the TIF money, the TIF funds that were for 2025. The only thing I'd like, we've done 600. Speaking with our treasurer,
I validated it.
oh, so it has been validated. So that $18,048.53 is definitely money that we do owe the DDA, and we'll be getting that to them by September also.
And then are we going to owe that every year to them?
It's going to be different. It's just it depends on the road funds that come in from the TIF funds.
And
It'll be done at the time.
sure. And is there a way for them to make a resolution you now collect that? Is that a possibility? Is that just throwing it out there, Hail Mary?
It's improving the village.
The money is going back to the downtown, so.
Okay, but this is a project that's for, right? I'm just throwing out hypotheticals, guys. Fast.
So I belong to the MML where I'm in a chat group with managers all over the state of Michigan. Yeah. And to answer your question, Alex, yes, there are communities that do fight this, or that do go against it, and it has been done before, so it is possible. I don't know if that's you're going to pursue or not, but it is something that has been done.
I just wanted to ask.
Well, I just would say that right now it seems that the DDA is doing a better job managing their projects than we do.
Absolutely.
Just one.
I don't want to take money away from them, just one.
That's all I have. Oh, one other thing. So my granddaughter was at the mill when you were there, and my sister-in-law was the teacher, Judy Merrick. So
That is who put the list.
The middle is the place to be this summer.
Yes, it is.
Do we have to vote on this?
We have to vote on nothing in the manager's report.
Yeah, no, this is, so what I'm gonna do with this is I'm gonna take those changes and I'm gonna take it over to Mr. Rumble and just talk to him about it and just go from there. I just wanted to present it to you guys before I presented it to the township.
And it's like you said, vote on it. Just like something about what's our filter, so.
And that's all I got.
Okay, I appreciate all the, thanks for keeping us informed. It was a bunch of these are, that's something that is very refreshing.
That is one other thing. I did approach a couple of the board members earlier today because they happened to be in, and I'm going to continue with my daily briefings, and I'm going to make it a daily thing. I didn't get it done today. I was briefing for the meeting, but
Report that tells about the state of all the currently in progress projects, even though we're not needing action on it at the moment. It's really good to be able to keep up to date at the council meetings with all of them.
Well, if we get it daily, if we see something and it reminds us, oh, we need to ask that question, that's a good time to call it. And say, did you think about this, or is anybody, okay, so, no, I'd like it.
If the transparency is wonderful.
one of the things I would have put in my daily brief today was the fact that we did get our internet and our phones are all back.
All right.
So we're all. That was about 11:30 or whatever. Yeah, it was right when after you guys took off.
Oh, okay.
Okay, item 13.
Motion to adjourn.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The meeting is now adjourned.